Well, good day, everybody, and welcome to the Research Methods edition of 5-Minute Psych. In these 5 minutes, we'll look at data collection methods, or 3 ways that psychologists acquire their data to test their hypotheses. These methods are the case study, observation, and the survey or questionnaire. The case study is an in-depth investigation of usually one individual, and usually that individual is an exceptional case. Like there's a reason you would want to study this person in depth. Maybe they were raised in the woods by wolves, or maybe they survived a traumatic brain injury. Whatever it is, you would study them using multiple techniques to learn as much about them as you could. The potential problem with the case study as a data collection method is researcher bias. At the end of the day, the researcher must compile all that data into one story, and there's huge potential for their own ideas or expectations to come in and infect or color that story. Nonetheless, the case study is really the only useful method we have to study these rare exceptional cases, since it's so detailed. But on the flip side, a case may be so exceptional that whatever you find out about them may only be true about them. And then you can't take their results and generalize it to other people, which is ultimately what we want to do in research, right? With observation, you are collecting and recording data from people behaving naturally without influencing their behavior. So suppose you're studying play behavior in children, and to do so, you would observe children playing in a playground and record the types of games they play. Now, as you can imagine, the potential problem here with observation is the Hawthorne effect, or the finding that participants will act differently just because they know that you're watching them. In other words, the children's play behavior won't be natural anymore, and any data that you collect will be tainted. So to get over that, you have to be prepared to watch for a very long time, and eventually participants will just forget about you, and their behavior will return to natural. That being said, if you're trying to observe a behavior that's very infrequent or rare, you may be observing for a very long time. With the questionnaire, participants are asked a series of questions, either in an interview or in written form, and your data consists of their answers. So if you were to study play behavior this way, you would ask participants about their play behavior. Of course, the potential problem here is participant bias. They may not present accurate data for whatever reason, and your research depends on it. Nonetheless, as a data collection method, the questionnaire is fast and inexpensive, and likely this is why it's the most popular data collection method. It's also good to use to study covert events, or things that you can't directly observe on the outside, like thoughts or feelings. We just looked at 3 methods that psychologists use to collect their data: the case study, observation, and the survey or questionnaire. Psychologists would use these methods to test their hypotheses when doing research. Now, aren't you glad you had 5 minutes?